What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your man G. Lloyd.
It's your man's Clearly coming to y'all Din and Now Live podcast on Monday. Monday, 8 p.m. We here and we live and we got it going on December the 8th of 2025, y'all. We ain't got that many days left in 2025.
Right. It'll be a new year.
It'll be a new year very shortly, y'all. So we're going to get right off into this. We ain't going to hold y'all up. We did a timeline on the Diddy situation, which coincides with the Netflix docuseries. There's two things that was mentioned in the docuseries, which is this. This has been mentioned. You need to pay attention. You need to pay attention, and you need to read this book in order for you to understand. See that? Dancing with the Devil by Mark Carey, a book I also read. Now, that book right there gives you a timeline and it kind of chronicles exactly what was going on in the bad boy camp in the late 90s.
Yeah.
When he came into the fold of the bad boy situation. Now,
He was in a documentary.
he was definitely in a documentary, and like he said, all the things he wanted to say about Diddy mentioned in the book. Now, it's a timeline that nobody seems to speak of, and due to the fact that all this stuff is documented, and you can look this stuff up yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not from Detroit, you wouldn't know this. Yeah, y'all see that? Exactly. Okay, that book right there was brought out by Mara Shalapa, Jewish girl author. She put the book together for Big Meech when he was incarcerated, and these two books actually coincide with each other. Whoa. Both of these books are mentioning each other events that actually say that these events actually happened. Now, let me give you a timeline, and we're going to go back to 1997, Dancing with the Devil. That's when we're going to go back. We're going to go back to Big's death, and we're going to go back to 1997, what was going on when Mark Curry came into the fold of things in 97. Now, Mark Curry was already around through Eric Sherman.
Right.
In the mid-90s, washing cars at our homeboy from Detroit. Once again, shout out to G Car Wash down there. G had a car wash, and if I'm not mistaken, rim shop or something like that with in cooperation with Eric Sherman at the time. Yeah, y'all didn't speak on these things. And these is facts. And I don't know why Detroit is so wrapped up into this, but we finna get to unraveling a lot of it right now. Okay, so let's start right here. We're going to do a timeline on Dancing with the Devil, Big's death, because we already cleared up the fact that the mother already put the statement out saying that she did not pay for that, and no, the estate was not charged or anything like that. So we don't have to go with that. So we're going to start at that point because it's pivotal, because these are all the things that Diddy was doing when Big died. All right, when he died, he came up with, brought the locks out, brought Mace out. Mace was already out with his album. He got away with $2 million off up in that deal. The Locks ended up putting their album out, which they had the song with on Bad Boy. We ended up going to Rough Riders in '98, if I'm not mistaken. And that's when they put their debut album out over there on Rough Riders. So the songs that they could have wrote for, like Benjamin's and things of that nature, I'm pretty sure whatever their contractual agreement was, they felt like they wasn't met. But only you, as an artist.
Puff had they publishing.
Right. But we already broke that down also with Sean G on, those projects, should I say, didn't bring in no money. Y'all, you know what I mean? The Locks didn't bring in no money. So, I mean, they didn't bring no money in over at Rough Riders, So, anywho, let's get back to this timeline. Now, here we go. First incident, Diddy, Suge Knight at the club. The guy, I can't remember his name, it's in the documentary, allegedly, well, he got unalive, and allegedly Puff's supposed to have something to do with that, Suge Knight. Once again, I'm gonna show y'all the timeline from Dancing with the Devil. That's why you got to read the book, Dancing with the Devil. And Big Meech was already affiliated, already doing whatever dealings they had going on in the 90s. What reasons, I have no idea. I can tell you this, in the mid-90s here in Detroit, before they was BMF, they was riding around with the Bad Boy, promoting Bad Boy, helping Diddy get Notorious Big promoted. Yeah, Big Meech, yeah. Didn't know that, did you, 50? Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big Meech resurfaced again. You did Diddy and now Big Meech back at you again. Yeah, I know. This timeline is real crazy. Watch how I tie this in. So that's the first situation. That situation wasn't even with Puff. It was actually with Big Meech. The situation down there with Suge Knight. And Suge Knight guy ended up getting unalive. That situation wasn't even with Puff. It was actually with Big Meech. Yeah. Slow it down now. Slow it down. Then we can go over to the stories of Jay-Z going to Atlanta to get in the club. And guess what? They told Jay-Z, you gotta wait. Jay-Z said, why I gotta wait? Because Big Meech coming in. And Big Meech flying to the club on a helicopter. Yeah, this is late 90s, y'all. Yeah, this is late 90s. Yeah. Jay-Z now. He hard knock life. But he don't know who the heck this goddamn cocaine cowboy is named Big Meech. He have no idea who that is. Yeah, cocaine was pumping like oil back then. So now, you have those stories. Big Meech going all around the country, raining, clubbing, he partying, spending big money. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
And he employing a lot of people in a lot of communities. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Big BMF is already up and running in the late 90s. Yes, it is. So now, we're going to move on. We still in 90s now. Remember, 2003, Anthony Wolf, which is Diddy's bodyguard, get unalive. Once again, who get arrested for that?
Big Meech.
Big Meech get arrested for that. Yes, he do. Yes, he do. Now you go back to Dancing with the Devil. You go into that book. He tells stories, accounting stories about Puff and Big Meech on vacation in Morocco. Yeah, you got to read the book. Yeah, Big Meech and the BMF. They wasn't BMF then. See what I'm saying? Meech was just a getting money nigga at the time. So you got to read that book, Dancing with the Devil. He breaks all this down so you get this timeline I'm getting out and tie the books in together. Because in the BMF book, Meech talk about his relationship sort of with industry people and Diddy. You knew he was talking about Diddy. He didn't say it at the time because of his situation. Right. He didn't want to get nobody involved in his current situation. But you knew he was talking about Diddy. So hold on. Wolf, unalive. 2003, Big Meech get arrested. He gets shot in the buttocks, and he get released on that.
Right.
Also, what happens in 2000? In 2000 with Diddy, J-Lo.
The shooting. Yeah.
Shoot. Mark Curry details that whole situation with Shine and why Shine was a bull junkie artist and was lazy and didn't want to put the work in. Mark Curry details all of that. See, Mark Curry details all of this. See, Mark Curry, I don't know if you remember you wrote that in this book. Yeah, I read this book. I definitely read your book. Everybody should read this book. And you will understand the documentary even more. And you will see how much of the documentary is a farce. Right. That is just all lies. It's stories that's been rewritten and retold to make the narrative sound different than what it is. It almost sounds like the goddamn rewriting of the Bible. Sure. You want to tell me? You know what I mean? Y'all done took actual facts and done changed them all the way around to paint a narrative that's wrong. And I'm going to be honest with you. At the beginning of this, I looked at it as a business opportunity for 50 Cent. But now as I'm really diving off into it and really putting stuff together, bro, you actually spent money to ruin a nigga career? And the thing is, it's not going to work. Because see, the thing is, what I'm noticing as I'm going through this stuff and I keep going over these timelines or whatever, dog want to be dog. Yeah, he want to be dog. You can't be dog. Diddy just a different type of nigga. He that nigga for that. You got to let that nigga be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He just a nigga for that. There ain't no way of getting around that. So hold on. Let me go in and get this timeline all the way together. Because I'm in 2003 with BMF and Diddy. Still tied in. All the way back to the 90s. You see how they tied in the Mark Curry book? They was tied in the mid-90s. Mark Curry talks about BMF, but not BMF because it wasn't BMF at the time. He talks about them in the mid-90s. Big Meech having a bunch of cars, come to the car wash, get his cars washed, the whole shebang. Now, going forward, 2004, what happens in 2004? Diddy, Bad Boy, signs Boys in the Hood. Jody Breeze? Okay, Jody Breeze, Boys in the Hood. Jeezy, yeah. Jeezy had a separate contract, which was a solo deal that he had going on outside of Boys in the Hood, which he also rapped in. And if you look at the first Boys in the Hood video, who in the video? Big Meech in the video, BMF in the video, Blue Da Vinci in the video. All the BMF people are in the video. Those are all the Meech cars in the video. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, so that's another timeline that ain't nobody connecting there. Yeah, the dots is connecting. I ain't think, whoa, y'all started to pay attention, ain't y'all? Okay, who else pushed Jeezy when Jeezy was trying to really get on when he was Little J? Who pushed him in Atlanta? BMF once again. So you see what the tie is in to Diddy. It was always a connection between Meech and Diddy. What that connection tied all the way back into, from what I understand, what the streets say, it was always a mutual type of, how can I say it, respect to the point where this nigga doing everything I'm doing. And I don't know how.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How is you on the level I'm on, and I ain't,
right.
you ain't got no record, you ain't rapping.
You ain't got no
record. How?
You ain't got none of that. But you doing whatever I do. They holding up. When I come to Atlanta, it's all about you.
So the affiliation alone just made Diddy and Dog just link in. Plus, on top of the fact that the situation with Suge Knight and Meech, it was a whole nother situation that people was underlying situation people don't know about. And it really wasn't with Suge, it was with his people. Some of his people was trying to holler at some skis that was hollering at Meech now. And Meech lied nigga. I mean, goddamn, he a lied nigga.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I don't understand why, I just seen the documentary on Tony from the Queen of BMF, or Queen, whatever she got going on. She just did this with Sean G. Shout out to Sean G. Yeah, we appreciate you being here. But she's never spoken on this. And she spoke on a lot of things that is in this book. So that's why you got to read this book also. Yes, this right here, this book right here. I also read that one too. You have to read both of those books. And she spoke on a few things out of the book. And she never tied those things in together with Diddy. She's never said that. And I'm going to think that she's not really saying that is because, she can't, it ain't that either. I was thinking that maybe she didn't say that because her and Terry didn't, maybe wasn't a part of it. It might have been just a Meech and Diddy thing. But in this book, Meech and Terry went on that trip to Morocco. So if Meech and Terry went on that trip to Morocco, Tony, you had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? So,
maybe.
So pushing forward, we can also go off into the fact that all these people keep on saying that this man finna get new charges. No, he not. If he was finna get charged for that stuff, he'd have been charged for it. The fact that this man is trying to get him new charges is wild work. That's the wildest work.
Yeah,
the fact that you're trying to get him new charges.
Trying to get him new charges.
And let's talk about this, right? Speak on this, Blitz. How you do a documentary about Diddy and you ain't put your baby mama in there? How Daphne Joy is not in this documentary?
Exactly.
She testified against Puff.
She testified against him.
She testified.
She should have been on. She should have been on there testifying about what's going on. What was going on?
She testified. No, you couldn't get Cassie. Cassie got that $30 million, and she trying to lay low with that. You know what I'm saying? Because they about ready to come get that from her. Because he done beat the case. Yeah. Insurance don't like that. Insurance companies do not like paying out at all. Yeah, I know y'all thought that came out of Diddy money. No, it didn't. That man got insurance. That man got a multi-billion-dollar insurance. You better bet that. And guess what? The insurance company did not like giving cash to that $30 million. And he beat that case. And see, this was so crazy about this whole situation. This docu-series was formulated in the intention on him being found guilty. Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they say, well, dang, we done put all this groundwork in and acquired all this material. We got to put this out anyways. And let me tell y'all, it's number one on Netflix right now. You know what I mean? So there's nowhere in the world you can't get around not talking about it. It is the algorithm and it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just 100, for real, for real. You know? So if y'all got any comments, anything about the timeline, let me know. Okay, let's talk about Lil Rod. Lil Rod say Diddy and his son committed a murder in the bathroom. Police ambulance came and all that. But ain't nobody get charged with nothing. That's the wild. I can't even believe y'all put that in the documentary though.
Right.
Why would y'all even put that in the documentary? Like, nah, we ain't gonna even put that in there. Eric Sherman, come on, bro. You was credible up until you did that documentary, bro. I was rocking with you. I've been listening to you. I've been seeing you on your podcast tour, and I've been listening to you because you be having some game about the industry. I ain't gonna lie, but that story, you let niggas just rock your jaw, rock your jaw.
That's crazy, B.
And then go around the corner. And then what did you? You didn't get nothing out of listening to Big. What did you get out of that? Because you heard it first. That was like a mind blowing. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I only had to go on about Aubrey O'Day. She said, such and such told me that Diddy had raped me. Yeah, that's what she said. She said such and such told her that Diddy had raped her. That's what she said. Yeah, she said that in the documentary. I don't know. All of the GHB and all that they saying was in the baby oil and all that, those thoughts and stuff is coming from somebody sick and sadistic that would do something like that because nothing of the sort was in the trial. And see, this is why Sean G keeps screaming on y'all. I was on the 24th floor. That's why he keeps saying that. He keeps saying it because he heard all the testimony. What everybody had to say.
Because the whole thing is, if it was some type of drug in the baby oil, it would have been in the trial. It would have came out. They would have tested it. They would have been, the baby oil was tested positive.
You don't think they tested it?
I'm just saying though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking them.
Yeah, right. So you know what I mean? It would have been in the trial. Yeah, it was tested. It was known that he had such and such in the baby oil. You know what I mean? Like, it's all just, you know what I mean? Like, we deal with facts because we done been through that system. So, you know what I mean? We know, you know what I mean? Like, y'all, people just screaming all type of stuff. He did this, he did that, boom, boom, boom. A man up here fighting for his life on some stuff that y'all claiming he did, and he ain't do. That's just like how a bunch of guys is locked up for stuff that they ain't even do. You know what I mean? And people, you know, that I'm doing natural life, 20 years, 30 years. You know what I mean? For some stuff that they ain't even do because people said they did it. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And the people just believe it.
That's what I'm saying. So, moral of the story is, BMF has been along with this bad boy thing from day one. Big Meech been on the scene with this from day one. The correlations are there from both books. 2005, we all know that BMF was indicted. So they back out here now. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Boys in the Hood was signed to Bad Boy in 2005. That's a fact. Wolf got unalived in 2003. That's a fact. Big Meech got arrested for that very said unaliving and was shot in the process of that unaliving. That's a fact. All ties back in to this whole situation. So, I'm saying this to say, 50 Cent has more than one beef here. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? It's no coincidence that Diddy and Meech is connected. It's no coincidence. And 50 Cent is pretty much going at all of these guys. Now, the strangest thing to me is, because they got way more money than me, why are you taking your brand with this? Mr. 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. You know what I mean? Because as a businessman, Curtis Jackson. And white folks call you Jackson. They don't call you 50 Cent. So yeah, why are you taking your brand? Why you think? Huh?
I just think, you know what I mean, when they get personal.
Why is it so personal?
When your feelings, it's all about that woman.
Nah. Matter of fact, let me do a backstory on that too. Okay, everybody want to say the beef started. Nah.
Well, you know what I mean, like little stuff before that. But what I'm saying though is, you know, when Diddy, stuff like that is just really. Like,
Diddy went at her because of the beef. See, that's the part that y'all missing. He didn't mess with Daphne Joy because she was just out cold and fly. He messed with Daphne Joy because he knew that was 50's baby mama. He knew it. He knew that. That's why. That's why when she testified, he said, "I don't care who you talking about. I don't care who the dude you talking about or who your baby daddy is. I don't care nothing about that." You know what I'm saying? So let me also bring this up also, and I'm gonna tell you why 50 want to be Diddy, and he don't understand why Diddy get the love and admiration that he get. And he thinks. See, this is the problem. He thinks in his eyes that Diddy has too much power. He thinks that Diddy, nigga, you soft, you this, that, you that, this, that. Regardless, that's his thought, that's his opinion. But 50 Cent in 2099, it's actually when we was in Virginia. We was in Virginia, 98, 99, coming out of Virginia, yeah. He came out with a record. I was on a mixtape. I don't know if it was on a Clue joint. It was on one of them joints I had back then. It was called How to Ride, right? And in this record, he's robbing the whole industry, which was like a remarkable record. And people didn't take kindly to the record because they're like, who is this guy to make the record? It was supposed to be a spoof on the industry, but niggas in the industry didn't take lightly to it. You had niggas like Nori, yeah, y'all niggas clap back. Niggas like Jay-Z clap back. Jay-Z clapped back at 50. He said, I'm about $1. What the heck is 50 Cent? He clapped back. Diddy clapped back. Wu-Tang clapped back. All of these people clapped back. Mobb Deep clapped back. All of these people clapped back at him about getting robbed in the industry or whatever, and he didn't go at them with the same ferocity. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't. He went at Diddy harder than anybody. So you have to say that where did the love become lost? Now you want to say that this is what he claims. This is what 50 Cent claims. Diddy blocked him from getting on in the industry because he was riding with Irv Gotti now. It's 50 Cent. That's his story. And he said when Diddy did that, he said, all right, that's what's up. So that's why you always been antagonizing. But at the same time, though, he's also antagonized Jay-Z. I don't see him really antagonize nobody from Queens. He ain't antagonized Nas or nobody like that, but definitely Jay-Z. Definitely that. Beyonce, definitely. He done trolled everybody. No Queens niggas, though. And you don't troll Queens niggas unless they with the Supreme team. Yeah, you gonna troll them niggas. That's about it. But you don't really rock, you know what I'm saying? Anything outside the borough. You know, he got to a Fat Joe before. I forgot what that riff was all about. That was kind of serious, too. That was kind of serious. You know what I mean? He's riffed with Rick Ross, as we know. And I think Rick Ross is probably his match. Yeah, he's been his match with Rick Ross. Yeah, I think he met his match. Rick Ross is into everything he's into. You know what I mean? So,
yes, he is.
You know what I mean?
They be clowns.
Yeah, them two right there, they built for that. That's another thing. You know, Rick Ross originally was a Ciroc boy before he had the other joint that he had. So yeah, so you know Rick Ross rock with Diddy too.
Right.
So yeah, so I see an alliance formulating here, and I don't understand why. Because y'all separating yourself in the industry that's actually paying both of y'all. Both of y'all trying to eat off this same industry, and both of y'all have done well. Honestly, y'all overachieved. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying. Especially from what my mama told me about rapping, y'all overachieved. Let me tell y'all did it. 2 thumbs up to y'all guys. Whoa, Diddy and 50. Yeah, y'all overachieved. Let me tell y'all, for real. To wrap this up even more, the books that I suggested, once you read them, you'll be able to draw the same timeline. A few of the facts that I had was actually from Detroit people that's been involved in this whole little get up from day one. You know, I've had an opportunity over the years to be in contact and know a lot of guys that's either BMF or associated with BMF. And a lot of the stories are compelling. And let me tell you something. This book right here, it's a good book, actually. It's actually a good book. Yeah. Nice, easy read. Good book. And this is Big Meech's story about BMF. I don't think Terry had any input on this book, not too much. And I don't think he was dissatisfied with the book either. I'm not for sure. But got this information out to y'all on Monday. Hope y'all enjoy it. If you got any comments, any questions you want to ask concerning any of these topics that we raised today, make sure you read the book though before you come asking questions. Make sure you read the book.
Let us know what y'all think.
Free Diddy.
Y'all heard it here. Then in our podcast. And one thing we wanted to say is that see we dealing facts, not feelings. You see what I'm saying? And according to what was transpiring, what was said in a court of law, that people have testified under oath, you know what I mean, and was, gun was found, you know what I mean, like, that wasn't true and everything, you know what I mean?
Right. Because to Sean G's credit, by him going to court every court day and hear the testimony and being able to give us back the complete testimony, and if you've seen on our last podcast, exclusively on our last podcast with Sean G, he had total access to the transcripts. Yeah, he did.
And then like he said as well too, is like, if he didn't hear it himself, he would have believed that Puff did all that stuff because the media was, they was promoting the propaganda that wasn't even the narrative of truth. The truth about what was said in the trial. Like he said, the other girl, what's her name?
Who?
Tisha
Tales.
Tisha Tales.
I was about to say something about Tisha Tales.
Who you know what I mean?
Glad you brought that up.
Was in the trial, but then come out telling a whole different story.
Because she was paid. She's been, it's another thing. Yep, okay. This is what I'm saying. This is why this is so wild. Do you know that Sean G has uncovered a whole scheme that they had the anti-Puff people paid to go there to report from the court false information to paint a narrative to find this man guilty. That's got to be the wildest work I ever heard in my life. I got to get up on that. Wow. They was trying to send a nigga to the pokey for real.
Then now podcast, B. Y'all heard it here. Fact.
Man. Hey, yo. Listen, man. We both done time, man. And we can't rock like that. We can't rock like that. Y'all, what? Y'all really, that's beyond jury tampering. Y'all was actually coming out to the mass public with false information to get us to help the jury convict this man.
That's wild.
That's the wildest work. And if y'all don't see that as being wild, I don't know what y'all see. This documentary thing went beyond entertainment at this point. Yeah, it did. Man been found not guilty. Y'all made a documentary based on this man being found guilty. Y'all bet on black for real. So y'all had to release it. Y'all couldn't sit on it. Y'all done paid all these people all this money for that footage. Y'all claimed that nobody get paid for doing it. Who the heck want to sit up here and talk and not get paid for doing it? Netflix. Netflix just brought Warner Brothers for $83 billion. And y'all just went to Netflix for free, huh? To say this about this black man.
Crazy.
Hey, Diddy Now Live Podcast. We out, man. We out.
I know.
Wild work.